Greetings, this is Panos. I'm drinking a Chateau Haut Marbuzet. Chateau Haut Marbuzet, I just love the label. There's the beautiful sort of chateau there in a kind of soft beige color with kind of gray text color font. And the font's kind of cool. I don't know what the font is called, but it's cool. Anyway, qualité est ma vérité, qualité est ma vérité, quality is my truth. That's coming from the Dubosc family in Saint-Estephe. Saint-Estephe, of course, being a very famous appellation in Bordeaux, in the Medoc region, sort of Cabernet Sauvignon-dominated wines. Anyway, Chateau Marbuzet was one of the first chateaus I ever visited when I first discovered Bordeaux. So I have a soft spot in my heart for Chateau Haut Marbuzet. And this is 2006. Haut Marbuzet is considered one of the very best cru bourgeois level wines in Bordeaux. Cru bourgeois meaning not quite at the level of the 1855 classification, classified growths, which are first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Of course, when you're buying wine today, you're not going to rely on a 19th century guide, just as you wouldn't rely on a 19th century guide to visit a city. But anyway, having said that, a lot of the classified growths are doing very well these days, in recent years. And so are some of the cru bourgeois, and Haut Marbuzet is doing very well. It's got this, it's known also for the use of new oak. The owners like to buy a lot of different new oak with different toasting levels. They have sort of mid-level toast, high toast, low toast. Toasting of the oak imparts a certain kind of flavor to the wine as it ages in the oak. Although the main reason to age wine in oak is to have a slow oxidation. It's not really to impart flavors. But the owners at Haut Marbuzet like to play around with that too. The result is a very fine wine. It's also coming from vines grown on very good terroir. It's on a gravelly slope. Near the river, you can see the Gironde River, and a lot of the old adage goes, say that if you can see the river, you have a better sort of microclimate. So the cool, the river-influenced wind will temper extremes in climate. So if it's really cold, it'll not be as cold near the river, and if it's really hot, it won't be quite as hot. So that's important for the vines. Anyway, this wine is a 2006 vintage. 2006 was not a great vintage. There was a bit of rain at the harvest. It's marked by just a touch of hard tannin sometimes, but otherwise it's a lovely vintage. It's ripe. It needs time. It's still young. And when I first opened it, it was a bit hard. The acidity was showing. The hard tannin was there. But this has been open now for a day, and all I did is I had a glass yesterday, and I just shoved the cork back in. So after a day, it's just tasting much better. Got to be careful when you spin it, because especially on a computer, a Mac no less. It's a lovely wine. It's got sort of there's a kind of earthiness to it, but not, it's a fresh earthiness. There's a certain iron aspect, kind of like a creosote, fireplace kind of ashy feel, taste. There is cassis, black currant, which is very typical of Cabernet. There's some plumminess. I mean, there's a little Merlot. That's probably the Merlot, the plum. And it's just very smooth. In short, if you see Chateau Haut Marbuzet, you can almost buy it any vintage, but 2006 is a good buy. It won't be as expensive as 2005, which is a more famous vintage, or 2009. So I would go for this. But decant it, or even open it, put a cork in it, and serve it the next day.